Okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit about my practice regimen. So my goal is to make the practice regimen as efficient as possible and leveraging the DM48 customizations. I analyzed all the combinations of keys and positions and modes, how many sharps or flats are required, and for each mode and within each key. So I included the diatonic modes with no extra sharps or flats, no added, right? Extra sharps or flats, and I did testing with adding one flat, adding two flats, and adding three flats, and also adding one sharp, two sharp, and three sharps. And the positions I focused on were 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the modes I focused on were those common ones: Ionian, Mixolydian, Dorian, and Aeolian. So limiting to 3 sharps, 3 flats, 7 positions, and 4 modes per position, I found that if I wanted to learn each mode in each position, I'd have to practice 28 things in each key. Here's an example in the key of C. Using the DM48 custom tunings, the sharps and the flats are built in, so that leaves 28 combinations to practice in each key. So if I wanted to play Ionian mode in all 7 positions, or Mixolydian mode in all 7 positions, or Dorian mode in all 7 positions, or Aeolian mode in all 7 positions, that's 7 times 4 is 28 things to practice in each key. So the table, as you could see, is organized by mode. Well, key is at the top, and then it's organized by mode and then position. And so for the key of C, yeah, I can play in 7 positions. All I have to do is set the DM48 with the custom tuning with the appropriate number of sharps or flats. You can see those are highlighted in that middle column there. You can see how many sharps, and the diatonic means none. So that would be just your straight legato tuning. And then tune the DM48 harp key to the key that's the 3rd column of the table. So for example, to play C Ionian in the 4th position, set the DM48 to legato sharp, 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 3 sharps tuning, and set the key to E flat, as you can see in that highlighted top row of that table. But this still was too much to efficiently practice and achieve, significant improvement quickly. So I did other forms of analysis to reduce the number of keys and positions that I would need to practice. I looked at the pentatonic scales. I looked at the songs that I had assembled, 30 plus songs that I wanted to learn how to play. So at this point, just spoiler alert, I only really use the legato BBB and legato SS in my play now, and this was due to my analysis of the songs that I want to play. I looked at the key, I looked at the position, the mode, and I looked at the pentatonic scale and how many notes in the melody fall on the DM48 holes for the pentatonic, and these things affect the playability of a given melody. So for key, I used the key, mode, and sharp flat tables. I identified the legato tuning, and I played the melody to test it out, just to see how it felt playing in that particular position and mode. Now the position each starts on a different hole, and I paid attention to what scale degrees were around that cusp, where the hole 4 and 8, right? See which part of the scale falls around that cusp, because that cusp area, sometimes you have to skip that hole and go from hole 3 to hole 5, for example, and so that can affect how just the facility of your play. So I kind of paid attention to that. And the mode is, of course, is determined by the song itself, right? And then the pentatonic scale. How many times do I have to use the slide to play just the pentatonic scale? So that's just 5 of the 7 notes of the scale, right? So how many times do I need to use the slide to play the pentatonic scale? I perform this assessment for all the positions and all the modes. And of course, the melody of the song that I'm trying to evaluate. Do the notes fall nicely on the pentatonic scale or around the cusp there, right? So I performed this assessment for all 30 plus songs, and the results, I was kind of shocked. But it was very, very obvious and clear that I really only needed to learn 3 positions and 2 custom tunings. And here they are. I use first position, and I use legato BBB for 3 flat tuning, and I play in Aeolian mode. That's I don't even use first position for Ionian. It's because of the analysis. I use it for the Aeolian mode and with the legato BBB. And then in fifth position, I use legato BBB tuning as well. But in fifth position, I play Ionian. I play the major scale in fifth position, which normally, like on a regular diatonic harp, you would probably be shooting for Aeolian, playing minor. That would be your goal. But in this case, because of the DM48's customizations, it feels like because of the way the songs played out, it just felt better playing Ionian in fifth position. And then again, and then I played sixth position with 2 sharps. And sixth position, I play Aeolian mode. Now note that I can use one of those arrow buttons. If I'm in fifth position, which is Ionian, I can pretty easily play Mixolydian because it's basically the same blow note, and I just have to press one of the arrow keys to get that flat. So it's worthy of note here that these positions that I picked, though they all start on adjacent holes on the harmonica. So position 6 starts on hole 4. That's the second octave of sixth position. And then it's the third octave is up there starts on hole 8. And then the first octave, you got to bend the first hole blow. You just got to press the flat, the flat arrow button, and you can play the tonic. So that gives you 3 full octaves here, which is great in sixth position. But notice, so I'm focusing here that let's look at a hole 4. Okay, that's the second octave, start of the second octave. Now, the first position starts on hole 5, which is right next to that hole 4. And its first octave starts on hole 1, and its third octave starts on hole 9. 1 hole different from sixth position. And then fifth position starts on the second octave starts on hole 6. So we got 4, 5, and 6 right there. And the first octave is down there on hole 2, and then the third octave up on hole 10. But they're right next to each other, and so I thought that was very curious. So I kind of looked at it a little further. I wanted to point out here that interestingly, whole positions 5 and 6 are not commonly played by the vast majority of diatonic harp players. Positions 1 through 4 are by far the most common. Some do enjoy the fifth position. It's just not that common. So the thing that I was kind of talking about earlier was that positions 5 and 6 just slightly adjust the locations on the harp that a melody in position 1 would experience. It might just shift a note over in a melody. Maybe a problematic, it might be around the cusp where you have to play a couple of notes right next to each other in a quick melody, and just moving it down from the first position down to the sixth position, might just shift those notes just enough to make that melody more suitable to sixth position, and similarly fifth position. So yeah, it's very interesting. Like I said here, this influences where certain melodic elements might fall in the harp and affect the song's playability. Also, I noticed that positions 1 and 6 had identical pattern sequences when I was doing my triad exercises that I'll get to later. But they were the same, so it made it easier to memorize them. So the pentatonic scale analysis. So here's the pentatonic, the Aeolian pentatonic in sixth position with custom tuning SS, sharp, sharp, two sharps, right? And then here's the custom tuning first position, legato flat with three flats, right? And that is Aeolian as well, pentatonic. And then here we are in fifth position where we're playing Ionian pentatonic with the legato three flats tuning. So the thing here to notice is that the placement of the pentatonic scale notes in each position and mode. Remember the octaves of the pentatonic notes are either blue or red, and in the different octaves, and then the black circles are the non-pentatonic notes. All right, and so I was looking for not having to use the slider across the cusp, just for ease of and facility of play. Just kind of slow you down a little bit if you have to hop over that hole. So you'll see here that there's no slider required to play the next pentatonic note at the cusp. You can see that in the little yellow X boxes there that the cross cusp slider, that those are not pentatonic notes. They go over to they go from a pentatonic note to a non-pentatonic note. So you wouldn't play that if you stuck with the just the pentatonic note. So that was one of my analysis criteria. And you can see this again here in the first position Aeolian pentatonic. It's the same idea. Only in this case, the pentatonic notes are on the blow, and then the non-slide, and then the non-diatonic or non-pentatonic notes are on the slide notes. But it's the same. You won't be using those, so it makes it a little easier for you to play. And then again here on the Ionian pentatonic in fifth position, it's the same idea here. So this was kind of important. So I said I only picked these because there's only one slider direction change to play the pentatonic in these modes and positions. It makes it you can play it much faster, and I think it allows you to just improve your speed, because some of the songs that I was trying to learn had some pretty quick runs, and a lot of them are focused on the pentatonic scale, and so just having one direction change, one slide requirement in the or in the case of sixth position would be the non-slide. A lot of the notes in the sixth position you're using the slide pressed in. But you only have to release the slide one time for one note in that pentatonic.